Alrighty, looks like we should be live. We'll get going here in just a moment after I check the usual technical bits. And yeah, we'll get going in just a moment. Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you. Alrighty, we should be good to go. Ta-da! Hey guys, Rip the Rager. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome back to the Steam Next Fest. We have more demos. I didn't find any last night. I went to bed. So, went to bed, woke up, did the thing, went to the dentist, all that bullshit. Yeah. So, I mean, the damage isn't as bad as, but it's like not anywhere where it should be. You know, I don't mean physical. I mean the damage as in my fucking wallet. So I'm looking at it like, Jesus Christ, how am I supposed to afford this crap? So yeah, that's America for you. I cannot get this open because I pick at my fingernails, so I often don't have like properly kept fingernails. But I'm also, not a Neanderthal, and I know how levers work. So here we go. I'm tired because I went to bed last night around 2 o'clock. Then, actually, no, sorry, closer to 3 o'clock, I finally was asleep. Then, some dippy with a robocall thought it'd be funny to wake me up at 9 a.m. It then took me about a half hour to get back to sleep. Then I woke up around 11. Yep. So, I'm enjoying me some caffeine. This is a strawberry watermelon. I'm not sponsored. I just like Aldi. Aldi's carrying the strawberry watermelon for their frost thing right now, and it's pretty tight. Actually, that'll be backwards. I don't know why I'm showing the camera, but it looks like this. It's a pink can. Strawberry watermelon frost. Frost plus caffeine. Unfortunately, if I want those, I have to pay for them out of, my pocket. Because here's the ultimate irony, right? So, just a bitch about the government and finances and fuck capitalism, basically. DeSantis, the dick that he is, decided not only is it enough that you gotta fuck around with a bunch of paperwork to even get on food stamps to begin with. It's not just, hey, I'm in Florida and I don't have a job right now. There's a whole lot of hoops you gotta jump through just get started. And then, here's the extra part: is the state gives my mom this is the stupid part. The state gives my mom the EBT, and EBT is food stamps. So food stamps can be used for certain things, right? So it recently got restricted. So things that have like caffeine in them at a certain percentage are fucked. I get it. Like if the Chinese government did something like that, I would believe it's actually for the good of their people. Like they want to keep their people from blowing their money on something, but at the same time, the U.S. government is a capitalist just regime. That's all they are, and they don't give one good goddamn about you. So any changes they do is just to fuck up your life, especially if they're a Republican. I always like to describe it as Republicans want to hurt you. Democrats don't care if they do. Right? That's the difference. I actually saw a video earlier talking about how Bernie had some dipshit on Fox News. I wasn't watching Fox News because fuck Fox News. I was watching Secular Talk. Excuse me, that's what got in there. And my brain stopped. Excuse me. I saw a clip from Secular Talk. They were talking about some dipshit on Fox News that was saying, "Oh well, Bernie wants Medicare for all, and only 14 of the Democrats signed on for that. So what does that tell you?" And I'm like, well, that tells me that all the Republicans and most of the Democrats are assholes, are capitalist, bought and paid for, corrupted assholes. Sounds to me like Bernie is one of 15 proper representatives in, the Senate, and the rest of them are useless. That's what that sounds like to me, anyway. I don't know. But yeah, it's ridiculous. That whole thing of, like, can't buy that, and it comes in your pocket, and then this and that, and whatever. And, it's just crazy to think that there are, right now, basically no consequences for anyone who is actively destroying this country. Like I'm not even talking just the guys in charge. I'm talking the people who support the guys in charge. Like what like how? How do you continue to support people who suck, you know? Like I can understand supporting somebody who sucks when it's like a tough love situation and you need to like somebody like say FDR that comes in and uses the full force of the federal government to get what he wants and just puts his foot down and says, "Fuck you, we're doing it my way." But that was because he was doing stuff to actually placate the proletariat. Not that he was, a super great guy or whatever. It's like he was not a communist. He had borderline communist policies, but only because in the East you had communism rising, and so you had the Soviet Union becoming a thing and China becoming communist, and actually demonstrating that if in fact you do not have corrupt officials leading it, communism is a very good system, as is evident by the current state of China. There are still some issues that have to be addressed, but all of their issues with their young people are the same as our young people. It's basically the same all over right now, which is economies are just kind of screwed. But whose fault is that? The capitalist regime that puts a profit motive on everything, or the communists who sit over there in their section of the world and very quietly and calmly build their industrial base and try to get everyone to work together? It's really like, who are you gonna blame? Like, China's just playing the market manipulation game, but they're just doing it better than the West, and that's why the West is mad. Anywho, speaking of playing games, back to some demos. First up, we have Gods versus Steam. So this is one of those. That's one of them there bullet heavens. So a nice little thing to start with. Something to just walk around, shoot things in the face, get upgrades. Real simple. There we go. Make sure we mute that ahead of time. So yeah, that's where my head's at right now. It's just big old gibby. I gotta try to figure out what all I'm doing with that. Luckily my teeth are like, obviously they need to be taken care of, but they're not in like a severe pain, agony, death, destruction type of mode. It's not one of those. It's unfortunate. Yeah. Anywho. So, let's see, what do we got for audio and such? Audio master down, mastered about 20. I'm going to say 10 on both ought to do it. I actually have a feeling the music's going to be a little higher, usually, how these things go. We're going to drop it down to low on the quality, just because it's highly stylized, as you can tell. And then VSync on, just for funsies. Okay, that'll do. So, it looks really cool. I really do like the like bright colors and the hand painted looking textures. Those are very cool. Very neat, very neat. Got that Kingdoms of Amalur kind of hand painted feel. Oh, wow! Somebody actually balanced their audio to a decent degree, so it's quieter than I thought it would be. Wow. Okay, I've been traumatized by bad audio in these demos so much that I just thought the shit would be there. Okay, so it looks like these are different levels, and then oh look, it's Zeus. How's Zeus? Wait, if that's Zeus, who's this? And why does she have massive tits, bro? Like, is anyone else noticing? Like, it's not like she just has nice tits. Like, they gave her some hangers. Jesus Christ, I love it. So very Greek inspired, as you can tell. And then my guy is, I can't zoom in on him. Can I maybe see him in like a? Okay, so there's skills. What else we got? The Book of the Storm. Oh, okay. I love this. I've said this before. I love when games show you how things work, so I don't have to try it and guess. And no, it's like, this is how it's supposed to work. Lightning Force. This skill gains XP while it's in your hotbar. Skills in this skill tree gain XP when you collect XP. Each level grants 1 skill point. Well, whoa. That's a lot of upgrades. There's a lot going on there. And then there's the Book of Skills. Oh, you have to buy the Book of Skills. Okay. Interesting. That's a pretty big tree. Hell yeah! Oh man, I wish it would have gone straight down to the map. I mean, it's a load screen. I'll take it, but okay. Little much on the sound effects there, bud. Turn that down just a smidge. A little loud. Get him. Fuck him up. Oop. Okay. If you see stuttering, that's like in the game, not Shouldn't be OBS. Should be fine. Woo, there you go. Is there a dash or a escape of some sort? No. So yeah, as you guys can see, typical survivors like whatever you want to call it. I don't think there's. I'm always paranoid about the AI stuff. I don't want anything to do with that. Just the same way that last night I didn't want anything to do with even the potential of pirate software being involved in anything. Because fuck that guy, fuck AI, fuck anything like that. So yeah, Vampire Survivors and Path of Exile and Spot. Yeah, no, the first thing. That's a great way to describe it because that's the first thing I thought when I opened that skill tree was, oh, this looks like Path of Exile. This looks like something I have seen before. Also, if you're looking for something like Path of Exile, but in sort of a Rudy Tooty Shooty kind of way, there is one, Grim Dawn. That one I've had for a while. And I just recently, a couple months back, actually tried it out, and it was pretty neat. Like, the gothic horror element of it, but it's cool because you don't just have, like, oh, here's a bow, here's a sword, usual fancy stuff. It's like, no, they straight up have guns. Like, they straight up have, like, blunderbusses and 6-shooters and all kinds of shit. But it's very cool. There's a lot of options with it too. Very cool, kind of Diablo-like. I need to try playing with a controller sometime because the doing it on mouse and keyboard is just with the left click, right click, the movement and moving the camera it's a little, yeah. Seems like it's more built for a controller. Anyway. So yeah, I'm just double checking this. I like I said, I check them all, but I just double check sometimes. It's a shame because there's just certain art styles that people use like this that it's now been corrupted so much by AI bullshit that I have to be careful of the AI bullshit because I want nothing to do with it. It pisses me off to no end. Because it's like, I will literally take bad art over AI slop, you know? Like, I don't want your AI-generated images. I want authenticity and sincerity. Okay, let's see. So we can use one of our gears, whatever these are. I don't know what this currency is, but we can use that to respin them. Respin? Reshuffle? Refresh, I guess, would be the accurate term. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's an alt there. Okay. Interesting. So if you hit alt, you can actually see the damage listed. So it's 8% increased damage. And it actually does the math for you. That's fucking awesome. So a lot of these, they'll say like, oh, 20% this, 20% that. Then you'll have to look at your own stats and try to figure it out. Whereas here, it says, oh, yeah, okay. So this will be really helpful later if you're in, say, the... if you're at, like, you know, level 20. And you buffed your damage to, like, 217. And so now it's like, well, what's your base damage plus the percentage increase? Is it based off of the original, or is it based off of the current? You know, is it additive? Is it additive, or is it just cumulative? Is it how does it work? Yeah, and this will give you an overall rundown of everything it does. That's cool. Good feature. Movement speed or damage? Oh, excuse me. Damage should be fine. I'm gonna get some move speed because you want to stay on the schmoove in games like this. Yeah, fuck. Do I, like, not have a dodge at all? Do I have to unlock dodging? Yeah. Yeah. There we go. More move speed. Hell yeah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so picking up food will help you. Honestly, this... I think I understand Survivor's Likes now. It's like, what is this? What's the idea here? Is that where they spawn from, or... I have no idea. Ooh, there's a chest over here. Oh, wait, I can do stuff. I thought it was just... Okay. Oh, I have the lightning lash. That's right. So I can do stuff. Oh, that's cool. Can I drag that with me and then blow them up? You can, like, block them with the barrel. That's cool. Oh, we got new enemies. Little rock guys. We got a treasure chest. Nice animation on that. We got... Do we get both of them, or do we get just one? Move speed and cooldown. Oh, sweet, I got both of them. Why am I getting something off this windmill? Why is the windmill giving me... okay. I have like a... You guys see that? The beam going up to the windmill. Or that deals damage around the player every... Oh, yeah. I love those. Anytime you get like a buzzsaw or something that flies around your character, like death blades, shit like that. Love that. Kind of just death aura nearby, because they'll always run up on you anyway. No matter how slick you are, they'll always be kind of close to you, so you might as well get something like that. But this is cool, because I can take this, and if I'm getting chased too hardcore, I can use a barrel to kind of slow them down and mess them up. Very cool. Okay, okay, I have an idea, Boom. That's really cool. That's very physical and interactive. I like it a lot. I was liking the art. The art here is really clean. Very cool looking. Like here, like this is exactly what I'm talking about. So you can tell this person was trying with perspective here, but they didn't quite get it to work exactly right. So it's a little wobbly. It's like this side's higher than this side, but this side isn't shorter, so it doesn't give... It's not as strong, right? But you can tell there's, like, a human's mistake in that, and I like that, you know? I like that when you can see the intention of a human being behind something, so even if they don't do it all the way correctly, I'd rather see anywhere from 60 to 80% of a success rate from a human than 100% success rate from a robot, when that robot's success rate... It's like, what do you call it? Like in SpongeBob. Sorry. Like in SpongeBob, where he tries to fight the machine at making patties, or even the earlier episode of when he tries to fight Neptune. Neptune is beautiful, he's perfect, he's a god, all this. But then SpongeBob ends up making one Krabby Patty that's tasteful and beautiful and wonderful. And yet Neptune made all these other ones that nobody likes. They're very mid, you know? Same thing. It's like, yeah, you can make them, yeah, they'll look like a patty, it'll feel like a patty, but it won't taste like a patty. It won't be that thick, because you're faking it, you know? Alright, let's see. Got a new thing. Hammer of the Gods. A titanic warhammer plummets from the heavens, seeking out the densest... Really? The densest mob pack and shattering it in a single thunder. So it's going to look for whatever's clustered the most. That's interesting. That's cool. I like that ability. Summon a charged droplet of lightning that grows stronger the farther you are away from it. When unleashed, it bursts into homing projectiles that seek out enemies. Lightning is a powerful bolt of lightning bursts from you, tearing through enemies in a straight line, piercing them. Let's do Hammer of the Gods. Whoa, that looks awesome. That's tight. I kind of wish it blocked them when it came down. That would have been kind of cool. But, yeah, it's... Ooh, what is that? Oh, magnet. That's what... Yeah. Okay, there we go. I know, I've played other ones. I know magnet good. You want to pick up all the stuff with the magnet. Add to health, add to base damage of aura, increase aura, in fact, yeah. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, careful. Okay, let's try this. Suck it! Boom! Yeah, boy. Alright, let's see. Increase pickup range and 1 luck. Increase damage. Let's try damage. I hope I could just use this to fry them and smack them into their friends. That's really cool. No, I can't grab that one for some reason. It was bugging out. Oh, there's the hammer. Put the hammer down. Nice. I think the audio is a little whack, but we're gonna finish this up in a second anyway. 60% to pickup range. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I'm just gonna let myself die now. Because I want to see what's the upgrading cycle like. That's how it works. Okay, so we got new stuff. We got the book. The book gets like new stuff down the line here. So we can add energy. And then I've got greens. So greens are used, I think, to buy things. Or am I... Oh, okay, I think I'm using a skill point. 1 point. Oh, okay, got it. 1 point. So did we get that? Yeah, that's in there now. Now, can I undo it? Oh, that's sweet. You can undo it anytime. You can just undo points and assign them somewhere else if you want them. Nice. Can't do anything with the Book of Skills yet. What does Zeus want? What's the dealio, daddy-o? See, I know there's no AI disclaimer on this, but now I'm starting to get just a little just suspicious. It's got this, like, because it's got that kind of filter to it. I don't know. It's one of those things where the unfortunate reality is that in the future, like here, for instance, like with the finger, that finger looks a little off, you know? I don't know, it's just... But here, the body is done so well here that like, and everything feels like it's in the right spot. That I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know. Shit's weird. Shit's weird, man. It just, yeah. The unfortunate reality, I think, in the next couple of years is that if we don't get a moratorium on like data centers and AI and all this crap, right? You're going to have to be able to post up like a portfolio of your work, which any artist should be doing. Like if you're making, even if you're like solo publishing a game, you should still compile your work into whatever field you're trying to do and be like, hey, this whole game was me. Or me and a couple people worked on this, and these were the parts that I made, and I'm super into this. If you're trying to maybe network and do other projects with people in the future, not necessarily get a job, but to say like, hey, this is my kind of thing. So if somebody goes looking for that thing, they might find you and say, hey, I want you on my project to help out. And I'm not accusing this guy. This is one of the things where I don't fully believe it. It's just I'm very cautious of it. We'll see how it shakes out. The unfortunate thing is, like I said, I think it would be good for Steam if they had some sort of proof, right? Like if they had some sort of checker to say, okay, if you use AI, you need to have the disclaimer of that. Which me personally, I wouldn't even allow AI use at all. I would just say, oh, you use generative AI, which is theft of art. Yeah, gone. You're banned off Steam entirely. Like you're get the fuck out of here, right? I would go draconian with it. But practically speaking, if there's the AI disclaimer, right? And the same way you have the disclaimer of like, oh well, this one, you need a third party sign up or whatever, things like that. But I think another level to that, oh cool, it's like Egypt and shit. There's like cactus and worm stuff. That's cool. But I think another level to that you could make to make sure people aren't skipping around that and just not declaring it, just being very sneaky about it. I would say have some sort of portfolio link that the devs can put in there to say, hey, here is the Steam portfolio, where in order to get your game published with the art assets of like, or even just have it to where if somebody reports your game for having AI assets, now if you try to do that and you're doing it just to attack somebody and it turns out that they didn't do that and you do that and you've done that way too many times and you're wrong a lot of the times. I think there was something else that had a similar idea. I'm vaguely remembering somewhere that I recall that like it was sort of a community effort, and the more things you reviewed accurately, the more it would allow you to be sort of a community moderator, in the idea that like the system then trusts you because you're assessing the thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that. I don't know if we talked about it on the stream or not, but I don't know. Like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. It doesn't appear to be. It's just the style itself might be similar to it, right? Because obviously, I mean, when I look at this, I don't see this as like this looks very hand painted. Obviously, a guy that can hand paint textures and design games and stuff like this, like why would they even need it as a filler to it? That's just when developers get lazy and they really want to get the game finished. And like, oh, I'm just gonna use a little bit AI here. It's like that kills it for me. I don't care if you used it in one area or if you use it in. I mean, I saw one on here when I was looking up demos that said that, oh yeah, we use this to make all these. It was a card game, and it was like, oh well, we have over 250 unique cards, and we use the generative AI to make the card art, and they were just like completely unashamed about that. There wasn't even like, yeah, unfortunately, I'm a solo developer working a full-time job. I'm doing this on the side, and and in the future, right? They could have at least said, hey, in the future, if this game pops off and I make enough money, I want to pay an artist. I want to commission an artist to do 250 pieces, that are already worked out. It's all very fucked right now. It needs to be unfucked. Is what I'm getting at. Anywho, Gods versus Steam. That's pretty good. It's kind of interesting. So we will see. We'll keep an eye on that and then go about it later. Moving on. The fuck is that? Oh, it's the finals. Why is this chick dressed like fucking Little Red Riding Hood Fairyland crap in the finals? What? the Misbehavin' set. Oh my god, the finals keeps coming out with really weird sets. I think if they want to come out with cool theme sets like the Las Vegas set and stuff like that, with like the if they want to limit it to like say, oh, there's weapon skins, they look kind of cool. Great. It's when they do like weird skins, like, oh yeah, it looks like this. It's like, why would you dress like this in a digital battlefield? It doesn't. Not that I want to be super hardcore, or clean, or digital look, wherever. It's like, do whatever you want, but also, it's just I don't know. I don't know. Anywho, moving on. Like that, like bro's just straight up wearing a jersey. Like, what do you mean it's a jersey? Like this shit is slick. This shit is tight. All right, I don't know. Moving on. So we have gutted infested creeps. So this is a sort of horror boomer shooter type of thing. And yeah, we will shoot many horrors in the face. But yeah, Gods of the Team. That was a cool one. I really like the overall art style on there as well. Just very interesting looking. I found it very similar to like Ratchet and Clank, that kind of old school vibe. Let me make sure to get the audio down, as we always do. I gotta wonder if I can dock that in OBS. That might make this easier. Yeah, but where would I dock it? I don't really have a lot of room over in OBS for this whole window. Yeah. Then I'm like moving back and forth and nobody wants to see that. Okay, we're doing some shader pre-comp, so that's nice. Seems to be maybe a little bit of optimization. I've always said that if you want to do shader pre-comps every time somebody loads a game up, go ahead and do it. If that ensures that the game will function really, really well. If that's going to help you be really, really smooth and optimized, go for it. If it doesn't do much, then you need to re-examine your ROI and ask if you're actually optimizing things or if you're pawning off the responsibility of optimization onto the hardware of the end user, saying, oh, well, the end users just have more hardware. Which is fine to say if you are also actively campaigning for regulations which give consumers the right to affordable hardware. Like stuff like that. Like, hey, we'll do this little thing over here, Like, I don't know. It's yeah. Okay, something Nope. Why is that open? Gotta have that on the main screen. We talking about gacha games. Yeah, good. Ooh, he's tagging me in something here. Apply to this while we're waiting on that. Yeah, I made some little pizza squares earlier. Quite good. I had like leftover sauce and oh, why do I have this open? I was watching Grand Platinum videos. Yeah, I don't know why I have that open. What the fuck? I forgot to close that. I'm always forgetting something. There's always something. Anyway, God, it's like not moved at all. Hang on, I'm gonna just pop out of that real quick because I think. Oh my god. All right, you got. I'll give it 2 more minutes to see where it gets to, but I do not need this crap taken all afternoon. Like I have shit to do. I have more demos than this to worry about, and no, the fact you're at 2%. I'll be fair. I'll see, because it might be one of those things where like slow to start and then it goes by bigger chunks. Sometimes that's a thing with installations, downloads, patches, things like that. So shader comps might be similar. I'll tell you what I miss in the meantime. What I miss is this one battle royale. I had this pop in my head. I don't know why. Just right this second. It just maybe because it always had like some longer queue times because not a lot of people were playing it. There was back when PUBG was kind of flailing, and then Fortnite came along and revitalized the genre. Not that they should get credit for that, because what Fortnite did was essentially an asset flip. And I'll always praise the like artists, like the design team for the original Fortnite skins. I don't give a shit about the crossover skins. That's just blatant corpo bullshit. But the thing that I do like about Fortnite is like some of the original artistic stuff of like like Jonesy and the rest of them. The original it was like Jonesy, Amanda, Carter. There was like the original like four or five different characters they had, and then they started making skins for them for the battle royale, and then it started getting crazy. Now you got like fish guy in a bowl, but he's got like a robot body, shit like that. Anywho, point being, but yeah, see my point is it in 2 minutes it just jumped up 20%. So it can go faster. But yeah, my point being that a lot of people are like, oh, well, the guy that made PUBG shouldn't be complaining about Fortnite because it's not like he owns the genre. I'm like, bitch, he basically does. Like, if you want to talk about gaming, because they'll always bring up the example like Minecraft Hunger Games, but they're forgetting that inherently, one, you're calling it Hunger Games, right? Number one. Number two, you're not jumping out of a plane into a realistic setting with firearms. Now, you can say that, oh, Battle Royale goes back to the movie, and before that, the movie was based on the book. Okay, yeah, technically. But in video game space, you would not get a Fortnite. You would not even have a Battle Royale genre in video games without, I believe it was Ted Green or Hank Green. I don't know. It's some Green. My brain is off. I haven't talked about this one in a couple years. But the point being, he was the guy that made the original Arma mod that then becomes, H1Z1 and then and PUBG and all this other stuff that's all kind of intertwined, right? It's just he's involved, right? It's sort of the progenitor of all this shit. So to say like, oh yeah, Fortnite, cool. It's like, yeah, but Fortnite was big giant company with lots of money, whereas with PUBG's case, he had a smaller team and didn't have readily available assets for a stylized video game. And people forget that the first like couple of months of Fortnite were utter ass. Go back to season 1. Go back in your memory banks. Remember season 1? Oh my god, it was horrendous. It was just the server tick rate was off because the fucking game was not designed for that. It wasn't designed at all for what they were putting it through. They had a game that was designed for 4-player co-op, and they were expanding that into a map that was like what 20 times the size of any map you would be playing in Save the World, and on top of that you had to then calculate what would it be, like 25 times as many people because there was like originally 4 people, then it was 100-player lobbies, and now it's and then over the years it actually got bloated, and Unreal got bloated, and now it actually runs worse. I haven't checked it recently, but the last time I tried to play it a couple years back, it ran worse. I'm like, wait, I remember this game running beautifully. What did these idiots do? They just bloated it. But there was a game. There was a battle royale. It was a snowboarding battle royale. And what I mean by this is it was set on the side of a snowy mountaintop. So you have like, some little villages here and there. But it was mostly like snowy stuff. And I liked the concept in the same way that I like the concept of, say, Radical Heights from... what the fuck was the studio? Blue something. Cliff Bleszinski's studio. Fuck that guy, by the way. He completely kneecapped Lawbreakers with his stupid leadership. And when Lawbreakers did work, they kind of tried to pivot real quick to Radical Heights, and unfortunately they shut it down, which, God, can you... I would love somebody to do that. I might have to do it myself one day, of just a proper Running Man style 80s cheese action Rama type of battle royale of like, let's get into it. I think Finals has kind of cornered that market in the digital corpo space, but I still think you could do like an old school game show vibe with Radical Heights, which, by the way, again, Fortnite stealing shit. The Fortnite vending machines were not a thing until Radical Heights. Radical Heights comes up with a vending machine idea, and Fortnite fucking steals it. Because, again, Epic Games is not a very... Let's say they're not very creative, right? When it comes to making their own original concepts. They're very, very good at implementing mechanics and concepts and expanding on them, but they're not very good at formulating their own ideas. They're just good at taking other people's ideas and really expanding on it. And that's cool. But I would at least have liked them to say, hey, shout out to, Hank Green or whatever. Offer the guy a job. Why not just come and be like, hey, dude, we see you did the PUBG thing, and that's cool. What if you come in and work with us, and maybe we can make some badass games together. Maybe like if you like the really cool, intense, hardcore stuff, maybe we could make like a new Quake, and you could be the head of that, and or something in that theme of militaristic or mil sim, if that's kind of the vibe he wants to go for. It'd be cool. I think, so, and that's why I think you get games like War Dogs, where it's guys, they're just like, hey, I want to make this thing. Let's go make this thing. Anyway, but there was this snowboarding thing. It was cool because you could have like I said, the snowboarders are like the main thing. So if you were like up the top of a hill, you could snowboard. You could spawn out your snowboard and go down it. And this wasn't cartoony. This looked like PUBG basically. But it was cool because there was like winter gear and stuff involved in it and different stuff. I can't remember the name of it. Hang on, I'm gonna look that up real quick while this is finishing the compilation. Snowboard battle royale. It was it Summit? Something like that. Something. Oh Jesus! Got one of these games where I can't hardly do it. It was. Let me scroll down here. Come on, scroll, you fucking bitch. Oh my god, fucking fine. You want to be a baby? You want to whine about it? Fine. Oh my god, I hate that. I absolutely hate that. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if I waited all this time for your shaders to pre-compile, and when I go to change it, like, you bet when this finishes, I better be able to go in to your game, turn it to low graphics, and have it run just fine. Okay? And if it doesn't, you will have wasted the last 10 fucking minutes of my time. Right? I guess I don't mind pre-shading and, compiling data and whatever you want to do on the back end of games to make them work. I don't care if something like Fallout 4 or Skyrim has to have an extra long loading screen. I don't give a shit. Some people do. Some people are, I only have so much time to play games wherever, which is true. Right? That is an issue, right? But that is also more of an issue of society than it is of the games, right? It's not the game's fault that you have a limited amount of time on the weekends. That's capitalism's fault. Which, ironically, it's also capitalism's fault when games like Fortnite get pushed out of nowhere, and then nobody wants to buy them for $40. So then they go in the bin. But luckily for Fortnite, they weren't an indie studio trying to do a battle royale. They were a big giant publisher that had enough money to burn on the idea of turning what they had in their existing assets into a battle royale. It's so ironic because it's one of those too big to fail moments. It's to go political with it again. Let's keep getting political. Why not? Fuck it. The world's literally on fire. Like Moscow is burning. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Moscow is literally on fire right now. Yeah, it's like basically the Russians hit Ukraine and they intentionally targeted one of their like ancient sites. It was like a cathedral of the old Orthodox Church in Slavic tradition, and it was this whole. It's a World Heritage site, the UNESCO World Heritage stuff. They declared it was a World Heritage site. It was one of these. It was basically the Ukrainian version of like Notre Dame, right? It wasn't as big as extravagant as a cathedral, but it was beautiful on the inside. Luckily the fire did not spread. They were able to get it under control. But the irony is the fire suppression system they used, all the water got everywhere, and that did damage the interior. So the interior is okay, it's intact, but it's going to have to be repaired. Anywho, but yeah, the world's on fire. Let's get political. So this is why a general strike, a lot of people talk about tax the rich, let's do a general strike. They're talking about band-aids on bullet holes, right? It's just so fucking dumb to think that's gonna work. Tax the rich. I don't want to tax the rich. I want to have the rich working purely for the state. So for instance, billionaires, a lot of people think rich people don't even exist in China, and that's not true. You have guys like Jack Ma who are big, billionaire guys, but at the same time, you have guys like Jack Ma who make stuff like Alibaba, and then the Alibaba group goes and does shady shit on the side. Because yeah, that's rich people. Rich people are always trying to fuck with shit. And then at a certain point, Jack Ma was talking shit on the oh, excuse me, on the Communist Party, talking about he was getting a little too capitalist, right? And he was forgetting, who he was, and hey, don't bite the hand that feeds, motherfucker. We're allowing you to do business, so it's gonna get us twisted. Then he disappeared for a couple months, and then he came back, and afterwards he seemed a little more chilled out. Yeah, it's almost like you got a talking to. They basically probably sat down and said, "Hey, look, you that beautiful portfolio you have, you realize we can nationalize your entire business at any point, right? We can literally just say you are not allowed to conduct business in China anymore. And since you're Chinese, that is the only business you've been doing. Good luck. We will throw you to the sharks of the West, and go ahead, try to be a guy over there with none of these assets, because we won't let you take your assets with you when you go. Go ahead, go ahead. Go pull yourself up by your bootstraps in the capitalist West. Let's see how far you get." And that's basically what they said to him. Anyway, point being, one, you can't tax the rich, because they'll just eventually buy out your politicians again, right? This happened in the Soviet Union. That's exactly what happened. Was they even allowed those people to speak or have rights? The idea of like, oh, the capitalist also has rights. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's why a lot of people are also like, oh, well, the Soviets disenfranchised people, and everybody had to be communists. It's like, yeah, because the only people in Russia at the time were capitalists and fascists who were intentionally going to try to undermine the Soviet Union, which is exactly what happened in the Soviet Union. It got sold out to Western interests. Like, it's amazing to me that so many people, it flew over their heads, and I, as a young man, played Modern Warfare 3, and I did not fully comprehend it, but all gillied up. 50,000 people used to live here. The fucking speech given in the Modern Warfare series by Makarov, when he says our leaders prostituted us to the West. That's because he was a guy who was in like the Soviet Union, and he saw his own leaders sell him out. He saw his leaders sell his people out. That's why he became a terrorist. They really do not touch on that point at all in the games. They make it seem like he's just a crazy one-armed asshole. Which again, he's not a good guy. He still killed like innocent people and is manipulating the situation and stuff, right? That's still bad. But it's just funny they have all the war in Call of Duty, and they never get into any sort of the politics of it. Right? It's all kind of fucked. I think the closest they ever came to actually criticizing Western affairs and capitalism was in Advanced Warfare. That was the only one. But that's because it was safe to do so. You could say like, oh, this future war that's not happening yet. Like this is like 2053. It's not happening. That's a bad timeline that they went down. That's what it is. It's that there was one rogue, crazy capitalist guy. It wasn't that the system was rigged. No. Anyway. Continuing to crash out. So tax the rich, and there's a general strike. So general strikes, they don't work because the proletariat doesn't understand. Well, let's say the working class. So the proletariat is the working class, but to help differentiate between the mentality, the proletariat understands that they must seize the means of production, right? That's the idea. Is they understand that he who controls, like it's like Dune, right? If you control the spice, you control the universe. The spice must flow, right? If you controlled Arrakis, you controlled the spice. If you controlled the spice, you controlled the intergalactic empire, right, of Dune. That was the idea, is that all of it banked on this. And again, Dune, with the politics of it, the whole, like, don't do imperialism, because then it leads to this, and people on a desert world, a lot of parallels to the Middle East, a lot of that. But and of course, spice being oil, that kind of thing. But that's the idea, is you have to seize means production. That's what the proletariat understands. The working class does not understand that. The working class believes they can outlast the capitalist class. The problem is there are so few capitalists that the capitalists can stockpile, like, logistics for themselves. They can have, like, just simple meals, right? They can just cut back on their extravagancy for a little bit and say, okay, well, the system's collapsing because everyone's refusing to go to work. You will starve before they do. Like, they will not let you have the logistics, right? They will literally shut those things down. They will say, they'll do things like declare martial law. They'll just refuse to do business. Like, oh yeah, we're all going to strike. It's like, okay, well then, fine, we'll shut the entire business down. And then it gets the workers fighting amongst themselves. That's why in communist Russia, in the Soviet Union, that's how Lenin came to power. Was he said, "Hey guys, everybody get together," and he basically got everybody out of the pocket of the Tsar and his minions, and everybody got together. And the only way that sort of general strike, if that's what you want to call it, worked was because they literally seized these productions. The miners said we're not going to mine. The farmers said we are not going to farm. Like they all just stopped. And so the Tsar could not force the issue. The Tsar couldn't replace them or anything, right? Nowadays it's a little more difficult. So the idea of a general strike, that's just not gonna fucking happen. That's not going to happen, right? Because they would literally let a whole country fucking die if they could keep their power in some other region of the world. Prime example, Peter Thiel, right? The Palantir guy, the evil AI tech lord guy, right? That guy who is just like a fucking crazy person, right? He ran away. He's not even in America anymore. He's in fucking Argentina trying to set up a little fiefdom there. And you think you're gonna, if you try to tax them, like, no, they're not gonna run away. Like some of them won't. But the big players, the billionaires, and the Elon Musks and all this, the Epstein class way up there, some of them will just say, "Oh, okay, so America's dead. Let's go somewhere else and set up our little fiefdom, our little kingdom, and we'll just let America die, and we'll go over here and do this." Which is why Western capital is pissed when it wants to go over to China and set up businesses, but the Chinese say, "No, no, no. If you're in our country, you have to merge with a Chinese company, and that Chinese company is going to have our government representatives sitting on the board of directors to make sure that you're not fucking the consumer." Like, it's so there's layers to this shit. Anywho, let me get in here and fix up some of this resolutions and things. Oh, good. The menu's not working correctly for that. I got screen mode. We'll go full screen windowed. And I can't seem to actually select a resolution. There's a little bug there. Unfortunate. VSync on. Yeah, we want VSync on. The UI here could use some work. Definitely. I don't want... See this shit. Frame generation. That tells me already that you're maybe not optimizing the game properly and you're trying to use other tricks to get it to work. And it's like, just make the fucking game in the old style and optimize something. Come on. I swear. Anywho. But yeah, that's that. Now that it's like loaded, we can maybe open this back up and see. Oh, my signal's a little weak on that. Why is that weak right now? I don't know. Here, we'll just restore that page. Okay, what was it called? Yeah, this one. The one with the snowboarding and the guns. This one right here. What the fuck was it called? No. Why does Call of Duty Mobile have a snowboard in it from 5 years ago? Ring of Elysium. That's what they called it. That was the one. I remember the symbol. Yeah, it was Ring of Elysium. It was obviously made by, like, a foreign group of some sort, an Asian, Korean, something like that. And it was a really nifty idea. I do think it was a neat idea. I'm typing Battle Royale because it looks like Ring of Elysium might have different maps for other games called, like where the map is called Ring of Elysium. So this was that's basically what it looked like for the most part. But that image doesn't help me. No, geez, why is my kilobytes gone like way down? It's weird. Are we still live? Just for me? Yeah, the encoder's getting overloaded because fuckwit McGee over here can't make it to where I can look at two things at once. Anyway, but yeah, the Rings of Elysium, that's the thing, and that's cool. That's innovative. Whatever. Anyway, I don't know how I start crashing out about communism, capitalism again. I just do sometimes, and again with the bit rate. What's going on with my bit rate here? Oh, and now we're back in the green. Okay, we were red, now we're green. Sure. Yeah. I'm gonna double check the stream just to be on the safe side. Let's see. Buffering. Yeah, okay, fuck this guy then. Yeah, your game can go fuck itself. I'm sorry, but you want to make a game where you don't optimize anything. Yeah, go ahead and turn that off. Get you completely fucking whipped it. Let's see. Has this guy completely fucked up my stream with his stupid video game? Or is my bitrate gonna realign here? think eventually. It's like maybe, possibly, sort of. Yeah, I'm sorry, but like if it was giving me bitrate problems on the menu just sitting there, it was definitely gonna give us problems. Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality of using older hardware is that modern game devs are lazy shits that decide, oh yeah, you just need this and that, whatever. So we can see it here. It does look really cool. So I won't speak on the game itself, other than the obvious technical issue of it won't fucking let me play this on stream because yikes. And usually, if a game's actually optimized, I can play it both on stream and off stream. Rare instances like Elden Ring, for example, that'll play, but it'll play on my end a little bit, but I wouldn't be able to stream it, just not in that way. But it does look cool, like with the bugs and everything. It's a shame we didn't get to play it, but I'll keep it on the list just in case. But I mean, this kind of shit, like what is this? What is this? You think your graphics are so fucking fancy that it needs a 2000 series, a 1060 Ti or a 1080 Ti rather is not enough? Like, hello, how is that not enough? And that's it. That's all the specs. You don't even say like the processor's a 1400 or a like. And again, they're talking Ryzen. It's like who the fuck gives a shit about Ryzen? Why are you talking about Ryzen? But yeah, Slamway Games. They do anything else? There's this baby's first thing. Oh, they did Blood Kill as well. Okay, yeah. We actually wait. So this doesn't make any sense. Why is Blood Kill able to be played? So Blood Kill, we did a demo of this back in a previous Next Fest. We actually did Blood Kill in the demo, and it was really fucking cool. So I'm trying to understand this.